Ryan woke with a gasp. It was pitch black, middle of the night. He glanced with disgust at Cheryl, lying next to him, before pulling himself out of the bed and then to the bathroom. Light on, look in the mirror. You look like hell. Another nightmare. Of course. His eyes were bloodshot, and his beard stubble was thick. He clearly hadn't shaved for days, though he remembered doing so last night. The thought didn't catch on, as the nausea rapidly overtook him. Pulling himself up from the toilet, he wiped his mouth. He knew the overwhelming taste of the vomit would be there for the rest of the night. Collapsing into the empty bed, he thought briefly of Cheryl. Never satisfied, never good enough, always wanting too fucking much, but oddly he still missed her. He woke up. How much later he had no idea. He was wet and drenched in sweat, and to his shock, blood. He was alone in the bed. No surprise there. His heart was beating hard, violently, almost pounding itself out of his chest. Each time he swallowed, it was hard, difficult. And that's when he heard it. As he did, he knew it was no surprise. Somehow, he'd long been expecting it. A loud, gurgling rasp, coupled with a wet, violent pounding at the apartment's front door. The way it sounded, the door would give way any minute. Struggling out of bed, he stumbled hard over to the bedroom closet door. Grabbing out of it the shovel he and Cheryl would use when they'd go camping together, he jammed it under the bedroom doorknob, bolting the door. Suddenly, the front door gave way, breaking open with the sound of twisted wood and metal. As Ryan stumbled against the bed with rising terror, he finally remembered. His hands around Cheryl's neck. Her eyes bulged wide as she gasped. This is taking too long, he'd thought to himself, so he'd started to pummel her face with his fists. He saw, clearly as if it had happened moments ago, her facial structure shift and break under his fists. He saw the blood come to cover her face, and then his fists. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, she was gone, her body vacant before him. And that's when the reality, the clarity, had set in. His life was over. Over. There was no walking away from this. And from there, the next step was easy. A full bathtub, a razor slicing his arms open, and what came next was eternity. But eternity wasn't what he'd expected. How long had it been now? Days, weeks, months? All leading up to this point, to his true eternity. The bedroom door broke open, and Ryan saw his destiny before him. Tall and disgusting and vicious and panting with violent hunger. He screamed as the teeth closed around